जॉब चाहिए तो ध्यान से सुनना।
Welcome to episode 6 of How I Made It. I am Priyanshi and with me is my co-host Junaid. Junaid, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Today we have with us Arpit Mishra and Divyansh Singh from CSE batch 2022. Both of them got an offer from Razorpay as SDE interns. Arpit will be working on the backend team and Divyansh on the front end team. Arpit is into Android development, competitive programming, and tech in general, and Divyansh is into full stack development and technical writing. Arpit's interview was based around DSA and Divyansh's was based around JavaScript. So let's find out how they made it. So thank you so much for doing this with us. We would like to go through the interview process first, and then talk more about your skills and about your past and the internships you've done. So I guess before you gave Razorpay's like coding round, the KIT e-litmus test was conducted for around 1,000 people, I guess, and like from that you got selected. So would you like to elaborate more on that, Arpit? Why don't you start off?
Okay. So around 1,000 people like gave the e-litmus test. For the e-litmus test, basically it's aptitude and all the CAT type of subject.
Mm-hmm.
That type of test, like aptitude, reasoning, quants, and all that up. And like just because it was like sponsored or like facilitated by KIT, so we also had a complimentary coding round, which was not exactly by e-litmus, but it was for e-litmus because KIT was facilitating it, so it was there. And so we had the e-litmus test, and I mean the scores of that, like we call them the PH scores for those for the e-litmus test, and the scores are not yet out, but yes, again, so those scores did not matter. But again, you have to give the test just to be eligible for all the companies which are present on the platform. So yeah, that's about e-litmus, I guess.
So Divyansh, do you want to add something to that about e-litmus? Anything new?
Yeah, so the coding part and also the core subjects part was from the KIT, because e-litmus as a whole, if you just pay for the PH test and apply and go for the test, it's just one MCQ round of 125 minutes. But everything other than that, including the coding round, as Arpit said, and also the core subject section that was facilitated by KIT.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's great.
I had a question, like a logistical question, like how long was the test and what was the number of questions in like each section?
The total test took around like 6 hours. It had a break of 1 hour in between. Like we had our test from 2 to 5, and then a 1 hour break, and then the coding and the core subjects test. That was around 1 hour 30 minutes, I guess.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, that's a very long test. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess my next question would be like, after Razorpay came and it offered like both front end and back end intern roles. So Divyansh, would we want to like elaborate on what's the job description for the front end development role?
For the front end, the job description was you need to have a good fundamentals in JavaScript. Also, you have to know you should have the basic skills and experience in React.js, because it was a compulsory skill for the front end role. Also, some other complementary skills that were GraphQL, and also if you have a slight knowledge of PHP and basic CP things, like you have to know what C++ is and basic knowledge of Golang and all that stuff. So that was the job description for the front end role.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. Arpit, do you want to elaborate on the backend interns job description?
Yeah, sure. So for us, the primary ability or the primary skill which they wanted was the problem solving skill, and secondly, like talking about tech frameworks, they wanted us to be fluent in either C++, PHP, Golang. So any of these frameworks, any one of these frameworks, but that did not matter a lot, because these were not asked in the interviews. All they wanted was the problem solving skill and some previous knowledge about any of these languages and frameworks.
Mhm. So, of course, like there was a coding round. So, Arpit, do you want to tell us more about the coding round and what exactly happened? What were you asked?
Okay. So our coding round was around 1 hour. Yeah, around 1 hour
Okay.
coding round.
Mhm.
No, sorry, 1 hour 30 minutes. Yeah. So 1 hour 30 minutes. We had three questions, three coding questions, and eight MCQs. Like eight MCQs from the core side, like from all the four subjects, two from each, and then three DS, like the coding questions. And talking about the coding questions, like two were lead code medium and one lead code hard.
Mhm.
So um, yeah, so yeah, that was around like that was all about the coding. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And Divyansh, what about you? Because I know there was some JavaScript involved in yours. So, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So as Arpit said, his coding round or his first round was completely based on CP. My
Mhm.
first round was completely based on domain knowledge. Like
Okay.
I had 15 MCQs, and all of the 15 MCQs were JavaScript based, like basic input-output questions and basic theoretical questions. Apart from that, I had three coding questions which were to be coded in JavaScript only. Also, it was a 1 hour long test.
Mhm.
So the MCQs were quite easy. They were very straightforward. Also, if I talk about the JavaScript questions, so one was JavaScript easy, and I'll rate second one as also easy. It would be in between easy and medium. But third one would be rated as hard. Sorry, medium. There was no hard questions as such because the questions were quite simple and quite straightforward. If you have the basic knowledge of JavaScript and also have basic experience, like you have worked on JavaScript, then those questions were easily doable.
Okay.
I'm actually really interested in. Do you remember like what kind of questions, or can you give like a close example, Devyansh? Those questions.
Yeah. So first question, the third question, which was medium, I would say, was based on if you know the inbuilt functions in JavaScript or not. So there was a
Okay.
question in which you were given a number. You had to take a number, and you have to return if it's a million, if it comes in under a million range or a billion or a trillion, uh, by specific notation. So that could be coded easily using your custom built functions or also from the predefined functions. And I prefer predefined functions. So that was the third question which I had. The first question was based on a state thing. Like you had to code a snippet. Much of the code was already written there, so you had to just code a specific function over there that was based on state management in React. So you had to know what dispatch is and how Redux works. So that was my second question. And first question was quite easy, in which you just had to take a number and just concatenate it with a string and just return it. That was the first question as far as I remember.
Okay, that was pretty detailed. And same question goes for like Arpit. Do you, like you said, they were lead code medium and hard questions. Can you give us example?
Okay, so for the coding questions, we had three questions, and the first one was to we have been given a number n, and we have to print the decimal sum of binary numbers from 1 to n. So this was a DP problem, like a bit DP problem. So it's an easy problem, but you just have to find out a few edge cases and it's good to go. And the second problem was to find the number of triangular subsequence given in an array. Again, it's a lead code medium problem, but the test cases here were quite steep, so you have to make a few changes. And the third one was pretty easy, like to count the sum of all the digits, count the sum of all the elements in an array that is lesser than some given number or something. That was it.
Okay. Well, that from the looks of it, like this round went good. So we after that there were two technical rounds, and can you walk us through it? Divyash, you want to go first?
Yeah, so for me it was just one technical round of 1 hour 15 minutes. Yeah, so it was 1 hour 15 minutes long. So the interview came with a set of, I guess, 6 or 7 JavaScript questions. which were to be answered. He sent me a link of a platform where I had to code, and he will just view and run the code. So the first question was based on set timeout, like how does a set timeout work and what's its use when we work on in React, and what's its alternative. So that was the first question that was asked. Yeah. So about this question, I had to just code that stuff, and he'll just run it. If my output was wrong, and I'll give a chance to correct it. And apart from that, the input output questions that were asked from me were like they'll give a code snippet. I'll have to run it. If my output is correct, that's okay. And if I get the wrong output, then I'll get a chance to tell them how that answer came if I know. So, and apart from this, I also had a few theoretical questions about what are cookies and different differentiation stuff in React.js and JavaScript. That was my technical round.
Okay. Arpit, do you want to go next?
Yeah. So for us also, like we had one technical round, and I was given one question. It was a Geeks for Geeks question. Like I discovered the question after my interview, and there is a fun thing attached to it. So there were actually 4 edge cases in the question. Like if you go to Geeks for Geeks and like check it out, so there are actually 4 edge cases to this question, but the interviewer only had like 3 written it in the docs file, like where I was coding. So like we had to explain all the test cases and all the edge cases which we are trying to like account for in our code. So anyways, so we start with like the interview starts, and I was given the question and like a small brief introduction about the interviewer and myself, and then I was told to write the code, or first maybe explain the code and then write the code in the Google Docs itself. After like in the Google Docs only, like I wrote the code and like made a few assumptions, made a few observations. Like I had made a separate page for that, like making a few observations, like these things are observed. So if we like look upon these things, we can find out that this case will be possible, this edge case will be there. So all of that was there, and yeah. So basically, after writing the whole thing in docs, so I was told to like copy the code over to the Geeks for Geeks ID and like try to run it. And obviously, I had to make a few changes because Google Docs is not an IDE, so all the code issues were there. Like so, and after those changes, like I had a slight error or something. But after correcting that, like debugging it, we both the interviewer and I went through the code again, once again, like trying to explain my approach. And yeah, so again, that was it. Like the interviewer was quite pleased with the detailed approach we have, like for writing the different edge cases in a different space and like everything there. So that was it.
Oh, okay, that was pretty good. Do you like remember like what question that was?
Okay, so again, this was an array question. So the question goes like this. So we were given an array and we have to remove a subsequence from the array such that the sum of the elements of the subsequence is divisible by k, a given number. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Awesome.
And I have the same question for Divyansh, like because his round was pretty like this is something that I haven't heard before. So you have to correct. Can you like give some examples of the type of questions that you were asked?
Yeah. So the first question, as I told, it was like I had to write a code. And the second question that I remember was I was given a random API and I had to write code to fetch the data from the API in a specific format and then output the result in a format that was given to me. And the third question that I was given was about Redux. So that was a theoretical question. He asked me about what Redux is and what's its alternative and why do we use it? Like what's the need of it? And after that, I was asked the quite theoretical questions like what's the difference between cookies and session storage versus local storage. Then what's the difference between undefined and not defined in JavaScript? Then comes the difference between double equals to and triple equals to. Then what are the primitive data types in JavaScript, and give the detailed overview of it. So these were some of the theoretical questions that I was asked. Apart from this, there were a few more questions like about the looping system in JavaScript. Like return works are different in JavaScript. Return works a little bit different. A few questions on I got from closures, which I read a few days ago, a few days before the interview, and about 3 questions about hoisting. That is a very nice concept in JavaScript.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So before you guys did internships like at Razorpay, would you like to tell us in brief about what opportunities and internships you did before that? So Arpit, maybe you want to start.
Okay. So before Razorpay, like I worked at a freelancing thing with Codepth, and I was basically an Android developer there. We made a few Android apps for a few of the customers there, and after that we had our HRC winter internship, and yes, I did get another internship opportunity, but again that was for June. That was for our summer internship, so I had to like ditch it and go for Razorpay.
Okay. Divyansh, what about you?
Yeah. So before applying to Razorpay, I've already applied to like a number of companies, like Walmart, Amazon. I've also given a coding round for the Google as well, but I failed it. Apart from that, I applied for a startup, Correlations.ai name, and I got selected for the SW intern over there. And over there, there were 4 rounds, I guess, before the selection. And the first round was basically an overview round where it was just an interaction round. Like they were briefing me about the rounds that I have to go through. The second round was a task round where I was given 3 tasks to be done in 2 days or 3 days time span based on different technologies, like on JavaScript, obviously. Like I had to work on graphs, also work on React.js few stuff, and then also work on MongoDB, which was very new to me. So I had to have a few little bit of knowledge from YouTube and from other things, from other resources. Then I did those tasks. And third round was a Google Meet where I was asked 2 coding questions to be done over there only, and those coding questions were to be run. And if they passed all the inputs, all the test cases, then that round was to be cleared. And then the 4th round was an HR round, I would say, where they asked me about my past projects and experiences over there. And that was all about Correlations.ai. And after that, or I will say before that, during my free time when I was studying about Flask and React.js, all these stuff, so I had already published 2 or 3 articles on Geeks4Geeks regarding those. So one of my friends told to apply for Geeks4Geeks technical writer internship, and so I did, and I got an offer for that. So after that, I've approved 3 coding questions on Geeks4Geeks, as well as I've written my own 9 articles on it. So yeah, so after Geeks4Geeks, like I was searching for internships, so like I reached out to some people at Walmart through LinkedIn and asked them for referral. So they did, and also at Amazon and other companies. So, but I failed. Also, after that, when I applied for the in-campus opportunities that came for like Informatica, VMware, and all that stuff, so I was not even shortlisted for them. But luckily, I got into Razorpay.
Okay, I guess that was all about the interview process. So you both have been like doing this internship for a few weeks. Can you share anything interesting that you've been working on and anything new that you learned? Arpit, do you want to go first?
Okay, so it has been around 4 weeks that we have been working here, and like I am working in the cross-border payments team. So like presently, as a part of onboarding and getting to know all about the company and how it works, so we are given a few bugs and all to like make changes to, and make changes on. So I mean, all those are fine, but the most important, like the most interesting thing that I have learned till now is that in in uh, in the basic car transaction process which we do on our in our day-to-day lives, it takes around 50 steps for that to complete. 50 different steps, and all that happens within milliseconds. So I mean, the tech stuff which I've been learning, it's okay, but these all of these things, I mean, the amount of scaling which goes into these things, it's mind blowing actually.
Agreed. Devash,
Yeah.
do you want to share something?
Yeah, so I'm in merchant dashboard team and I work on front end. So like I've been working for 4 weeks as Arpit said. We have been working there. So the best thing I like about Razorpay is that they are very transparent about everything. Like before in correlations.ai, there were meetings happening on everything actually, on everything for back end, for front end, for ML stuff. But we were not allowed to enter them. We were only allowed to attend meetings for which we were appointed as an intern. But here you can literally sit in any meeting and learn anything. Like, and also the pod leaders, or I would say the buddies, are very helpful over here. So yeah, right, you have any doubt regarding anything, maybe it's your personal project or college stuff, they'll be ready to help you out. So that's the thing I liked about it.
Oh, okay. Open door policies are like the best. That's pretty cool. Okay. So I guess the next question I was about to ask was about internships, but I guess we covered that. I guess we can like talk more about before like Razorpay placement. Like, were there any other like kid placements that you sat for, or even off campus, like not internships but just placements?
So I had got an offer from the kid placement only, like for the Dell intern, which was supposed to be happening from June 7th this month, and after getting that, so I stopped getting shortlisted in any other. So that is one of the things which happened. And I mean, I applied for all of them, but again, I did not go through the shortlisting process.
Okay. Divyansh, what about you?
Yeah, so as I said earlier, before applying to Razorpay, I've applied for Informatica, Dell as well, also for VMware and different MyData also. But except MyData, I was not shortlisted for any of them, including Dell. Yeah. So for MyData, I was selected for the third round, and the fourth round was to be HR round as far as I know, but I didn't clear the third round. And also I applied for Simply VMS, whose coding round was on the same time as the HR round of Razorpay. So I have to drop that coding round and go for the HR round.
Yeah, that was a pretty good decision. I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay. So like a lot of first and second year students have been like watching these videos, and these are very helpful for juniors to know the placement scenarios in like COVID times. So any advice you both would like to give, which can be pretty helpful for them to get better opportunities both on and off campus? Divyansh, do you want to go first?
Yeah. So I also get many DMs about questions on projects and open source things. So like the best platform to start with open source is Hacktoberfest. That I will recommend to every junior to attend it at least once, and also try to apply for GSOC. That's very important. That's a very good platform for all the developer stuff. They are some good projects to work on. Also, I'll recommend my juniors to make as much as projects, not for the show off or just to fill the resume, but to gain experience. So like when you will find like problems in your own code, you'll learn. You'll search and you'll learn. So like apart from that, if you're not good at CP and all that stuff that I'm not, like I'm very bad at CP and core subject stuff. So like you prepare for the front end stuff, front end or back end. It's not compulsory actually for what you're going through, or maybe not the web development stuff. You can go for anything, but whatever you choose, just have a deep knowledge, and you should have experience and quite a lot of projects to show the interview. Because what I have seen from my past interviews is that the interview will be coming for a short period of time, like say 1 hour or 1.5 hours. and it's up to you. Like you can take 15 minutes just to explain your project and give all the rest time to him for the technical questions, or you can have 30 minutes and 45 minutes explaining your all the projects and just give him this small time to just ask for technical questions. That is one thing that that helps juniors a lot.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Arpit, do you want to go next?
It's okay.
Adding on to what Divyansh said, like the importance of projects and all. So I had this the HR interview which we had with Razorpay. So the interviewer only said this to me, like everyone is doing DSA and CP. So in order to stand out from the crowd, you need to have your core subjects like very thoroughly done. And the only way to be thorough with all the core subjects is to have projects for everything. So again, projects are very important. Being thorough with all your core subjects is very important. DSA and CP can only lead you as to like the tech interviews, but again, after that, you'll have to be on your own. You'll have to have the development stuff for you. So,
Great, that's great. So we did some polls online about questions people wanted to ask you. So these are some audience questions from all across social media. So first is from Sanske, I guess it's a username. Does HRC on my resume help? So this is a very kid specific question, I guess. So Arpit, do you want to go first?
okay. So HRC on your resume. So any internship on your resume helps. And again, like I have seen this issue with a lot of people. Like people write about HRC both in the project section and also in that in the internship section. So if you are writing about HRC, just write about it in one section. Write a detailed report on it, but again, not a lot, and don't write it twice. That's monotonous. So just write it once and that's it.
Okay. Divyansh, do you want to add something to this? Maybe something you observed?
Actually, no, because I wasn't selected for HRC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So next question is how do you prepare thoroughly for a technical interview? Like how do you approach core subjects? So Divyansh, do you want to like add something, and then we can go to Arpit?
Yeah. So the best way to practice the core subject is to just revise, keep them revising. That's all. It might be possible that you're not good at projects and all that stuff, but keeping them revising, there's a thing called memory, what I call it, pattern recognition. Even if you don't understand, just go through it, and after some time you'll understand what that was. Yeah.
Arpit, what about you? I know you must have something like deep technical insight into this. What about you? How do you prepare and approach this?
Okay, so for all the core subjects, so whenever I am preparing or I am studying about something new in the core subject, so I tend to make a lot of notes. Like I have copies filled with notes and post-its and all there. So I mean that is a very good thing to have. And like whenever you are going for interviews, like you have some knowledge about it. Like you have at least a week or a few days, so you have to go through and keep on revising through it, and don't forget about it, and keep on adding to it also.
Yeah. One more, like I guess it's a follow up to this question. Like it says like DSA is important, but it's a vast subject. So how do you like go over all of it before a technical interview?
Okay, so this is not just before a technical interview. So what I did in my time, what I still do is whenever I'm solving a problem, like I try to write it in the notepad first, not directly in the IDE. Do it in the notepad, write the code in the notepad, try it out. Like whenever I'm like completely sure, then only I get to execute it. So that is very important, and like noting down all of the errors you get. That is what I do. Like just add them as comments to your code and like keep them somewhere. Add them to the comments to your code and like keep them somewhere. And whenever you are going through your code, like okay, you'll see the question, we had this issue earlier, so let's just go through the code, and you'll be able to you'll be able to remember it for a longer period of time also.
Agreed.
Awesome.
I do this too.
Do you have like some kind of ideas? So say like you want to prepare for a front end interview. How do you approach that stuff? How do you like take notes? Do you have any resources?
Yeah, so for front end, I would say that HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are basic and fundamental. You have to know these stuff, and all this stuff will not be known just from reading a book. You'll have to keep practicing because HTML is very vast. HTML is very vast, and so is the
Yeah.
CSS. So you have to keep practicing, keep experimenting stuffs on HTML and CSS. Because in CSS there is a thing because you can style a particular element in many ways, but you'll have to pick that with that has minimum number of lines. Like you have to reduce the CSS because CSS
Yeah.
sometimes becomes very tedious to do.
Mhm.
Also, after learning about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, see these three are the basics. After that, if you go through Python using Flask and Django, or you take React.js or Node.js, all that stuff, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript will still be there. They'll still be getting used because I've worked in Flask and React as well. So I'll have to say that these things are the most important. Also, try to contribute to projects that are not yours. Like I have one of my school senior. I keep contributing to his projects. I've already contributed to like 2 or 3 projects. Also, try to work on your own. Like there's nothing like okay, this is a project, so I'll work on it. Keep trying new things. Like there's nothing like that. This is not a project, so I'll not work on it hard. Keep everything like that this is a project and I'll have to complete it till the end. So that's the thing about front end. You'll have to keep experimenting and keep learning new things. Front end is not just it will get over in 2 days or 3 days.
Yeah,
Agreed.
definitely. So
Okay, so I guess that was it for the questions. Thank you so much once again for doing this with us, Arpit and Divyansh. So if this video provided any value to you, then share it with your friends. Also check out our previous videos. We have like 5 more videos out, and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more content like this. And thank you and bye.
thank you so much. Bye.